fun episode. Appreciate everybody who's stuck with me. If you're a hater, you can gargle my dick every kind of way. Because let me tell you something. You know what they say about me? They said I was washed. That's a lie. They said Mango was fat. That's not true anymore.
Yo, let's go.
They said Mango's an alcoholic. I only drink 1 or 2 drinks a night.
Let's go.
What, you're running out
They're
of
running out of shit.
insult.
They're running out of shit.
I'm probably better looking than you.
Okay.
I make more money. What do you have? Nothing.
Remember that you went on your Tupac rant. You know it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Tupac. You know
Guess what? I still got like 3 years in you, bro.
Let's go.
What is the best player in the world? 3-0. That's it. That's the end of my...
Welcome to Fourside Fights,
Until I win a
featuring Edwin Budding, Epengu, Moth, and Ohan. Citizens of Fourside, I'm Jackzilla, and I know, number 1, IRL streams on my bike are the future. Number 2, following off-brand, we need a Melee TO co-op. Number 3, God King Lado 2 would be an excellent Fourside host. And number 4, Russell Hantz did not deserve to win Survivor Samoa. Let's go to each side with this 2009 discourse. Was Russell robbed? Let's go first to the Charlie Brown kicking the football of predicting tournament results. It's Edwin Budding.
Well, as the Spencer Bledsoe of predicting tournament results, I'm going to say no, he was not robbed. Absolutely not.
He will take any scrap of hope for Falco Nation that he can. It's Epengu.
I would say yes, he absolutely was robbed.
You will change your opinion when you've watched the season. She's number 1 in South Florida and thinks Bobby Scar probably kisses like a lesbian. It's Moth.
Bro, I was born in 03. These people are too old for me. I don't keep track with it. But I'm gonna go with definitely not robbed.
And finally, he's hosted Tipped Off 15 and hopefully has slept 72 hours since then. It's Ohan.
Yeah, Russell Hantz in season 19 is probably one of the most robbed of all time. First to ever find an idol without a clue. You people are absolutely insane if you think that Natalie White should have won that season.
Me when everybody hates me. All right, let's go. Welcome to Fourside Fights. We've got 4 outstanding guests today who are going to act as pundits as I throw topic after topic at them. They'll give their takes. If they're entertaining or interesting, I'll give them points. If they're boring, repetitive, or patently unreasonable, I'll subtract points. And of course, I can mute any contestant at any time for any reason. The player with the most points at the end is our winner. They get to commentate the 3 losers as they take it to Fourside in a free-for-all so we can see exactly how their punditry translates to Melee. Let's get started with our first topic. Tipped Off 15 was last weekend, bringing in literally dozens of Melee's best players to Georgia for the most stacked event of the year since Genesis. Mango defied all odds and 9-1 Cody, Schwab, and Zain across 3 sets. He beat Zain 3-0 for the first time ever before beating Cody twice, first 3-1 in winners semis, and then 3-0 in grands. Along the way, he also beat Hungrybox, Aklo, Zamu, and Egg Money just for fun. Mango broke a 9-event streak of Zain or Cody winning in grand finals. This is what your mind and body become if you ride your bike enough. Is this the end of the Zain Cody tier? And what does Mango need to do to get first in for the year as a whole by the end of year rankings? Let's go ahead and start with Edwin Budding.
Yeah, so I don't think it's the end of the Zain and Cody tier yet. I think Mango's got to win multiple times for that to be the case. You know, Hbox and Armada had stretches where had that like long 2.5-year stretch where they won overwhelming everything, and that didn't change necessarily with like victories that came in between. So yeah, I think Mango's got to win a little bit more to get into that tier, but he can definitely do it. We saw at the end of 2022 that he had that like stretch of winning like 4 majors. So it's not totally over for him. I think he can do this again, but he's got to do it for me to put him in the same tier.
Okay. Who wants to take it next? Go for it.
I think for Mango to become number 1, he needs to buy Cody 3 more dogs and then train those dogs to play Ultimate against Zain. And maybe Zain could take a few games off of them after another month of playing. Listen, I love Mango. I think that he absolutely shit on everyone at Tipped Off. He was playing amazing. Other people playing bad doesn't change the fact that he was playing amazing. I don't think it's the end of the Zain Cody tier because Mango has decided to celebrate by throwing away all of the discipline that made him so good this past weekend, as is his right, as he's want to do.
Can one not have a cheat week without the pundits jumping on him?
even if he wins the next tournament, he said I was eating ice cream and cake. He's about to start doing hard drugs again if he wins another tournament. So I don't think
He's
that
reaching for the needle.
I don't think that Mango has a shot and he would be fine with that. Listen, if he wanted to, I believe in him all the way, but Mango is entitled to go and fuck off and do whatever he wants after winning a tournament like that. So I don't need him to be number one for the year. We're happy with this one win. We take what we can get.
All right.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. You gotta rewrite the question, right? It should not be can Mango get number one end of year. It should be can Mango get number 3 end of year, right?
Yeah.
I feel like people are vastly like underestimating how far and ahead Cody and Zain are than everyone else. Like, cool, Mango won an event. He dodged Plup and Amsa. I don't care. Like,
He's one from winners. You can't dodge if you're on winner's side.
Yes, you can.
Isn't that crazy?
Dude, Mango's gonna have like a random ass tournament.
He literally beat his hardest opponent.
He's gonna lose to
What is a
like,
harder bracket than Zain and Cody?
Plup and Amsa, the goats.
And
The
Hbox.
best. All right, first of all,
What about egg money?
Mango can beat cheaters, right? He could beat Z jumpers. He cannot beat true natty players like Plup and Amsa.
And
Zain is like
true.
literally his hardest opponent, and he 3-0'd him. Like what more could you want from him?
Dude, because he can just like figure out Zain. That's fine. It's Marth. Marth sucks. Like, move on. Like, this guy's like 200 years old. He knows the matchup. Yes. Test him. Give him like real people who've been like shitting on him continuously. Like, yeah, he lost a couple sets to Zain, but he used to be.
He lost like 11.
It used to be the Zain Mango tier. Therefore, he's played Zain a million times.
In the Zain Mango tier,
no, I fully agree, because this is just like when Mango loses like a few sets in a row to Hbox, and everyone's like, well, it's never happening again. He's never going to beat Hbox.
Here, 1 second.
again.
I want to bring Ohan into this. Ohan, what are you thinking?
Yeah, so I think that basically I think people are overvaluing how good of a year Cody and Zain have had like up until this point. Like going into the seeding of the tournament, like Cody really wasn't that far ahead off for like a pretty bad Gommel run. So really, I mean, if I were to seed this tournament and run it again, like with these results, I think Mango's a lot closer to that tier. And even the other sets of the tournament, like Zain acts was a nail biter, right? And then he got worked by Amsa and losers. I think that's the 6th set in a row losing to the Yoshi. So it's really, I mean, I think if it's not over, Mango has now entered that tier of the Zain, Cody, Mango tier for this year so far.
Yeah, Mango dodged Amsa, while Cody dodged Morse code at like all of the tournaments.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude.
Cody dodged the tier on God. Cody dodged the tier and Kata, both of which Justin was trying to grief his bracket.
Mango dodged me. Okay.
Mango dodged you. That's true.
Dude, we've seen him versus Ice Climbers. Put me in there, coach.
Isn't it wild how winning a tournament from winners now is more likely to get you discredited?
For sure, yeah. No, as soon as Mango won the tournament, I was on the stage with him. He talked about how nobody can discredit me because I beat Zain. They can't say I dodged. And lo and behold, we're here a couple
there
days
is one
later.
person
It was winners.
who
You
can
had
say
to
you
play like
dodged.
3 fewer sets, man. That's
Dude,
what
There is
don't
one
play
person who can
anyone.
say it. All right, let's move on to our next topic. Zain argues he actually did quite well at Tipped Off, beating Axe and Plup, who are historically problems for him. But I've seen the footage, and I'm not convinced. He committed to playing only Smash Ultimate on his stream for 90 days, just a week before Tipped Off. This is the inverse of Hungrybox's 90-day Ultimate Detox. Hungrybox is only playing Melee. Both players performed worse than they have all year, and for Hungrybox, in a decade, after committing to these plans. Is this what Sakurai-induced Minecrafting can do in 7 days, or trying to sober up? I shudder to imagine what will become of Zain after 90 days of this. How much Ultimate will it take for Hungrybox to beat Zain?
Jack,
Anybody
you and
can
I
jump
both
in.
know that Zain has said before, I will never lose to Hungrybox again. You will never beat me again. You will never win a tournament over me ever again. And I choose to believe that Zain is going to stick to that word. Listen, I think that it's just what Moff was just saying. Zain has played Hbox how many times in his career? Like 40 times, something like that, probably more. He's not going to suddenly unlearn the matchup, right? I think that matchup in particular also is one where we've seen that, like, I think Zain plays that matchup right now a few levels above of where Hungrybox.
So Zain had a 23-set win streak versus offline versus Mango and Hbox. About half of that was Mango sets. Why does the argument apply to Hungrybox but not to Mango?
What I would say is that I think that it's easier for Falco to throw Marth off kilter legitimately when Mango is playing really well and Zain is playing sloppy. And Hungrybox does not play the matchup in a way right now that throws Zain off kilter. And his defensive play is the one that's weak in the matchup. Usually Mango's defensive play might be weak in the matchup. This time it was Zain. Hungrybox's play is often really weak in the matchup. Zain exploits the fact that he doesn't mix up his DI on the tipper mix-ups that well. And I don't think he's going to suddenly forget how to do that because he's playing ultimate.
Okay.
Well, that's only one side of the story. I
sorry,
feel
Evan.
like with going into the event, I was basically harassing Zain a lot. 'Cause, like, you got to start playing melee, man. Like, you got Plup, Crudo, Sunsei, maybe. You have some really, really difficult opponents, and he looked very, very susceptible to losing early in the sets like the Axe set, right? Which is something where I believe their last few sets really haven't been competitive. There's been like 4 stocks. So while Hbox maybe has a little bit more work to do to kind of get up on the melee grind again, I think Zain is very obviously from his gameplay kind of struggling already at the start of this like ultimate poisoning, as he calls it.
Edwin, you keep raising your hand like a good
Yeah,
little boy.
go ahead, Edwin.
I
That's
think
all you, dog. I'll let you go.
You've been so good.
I think that you all need to remember the phrasing of this question. How much ultimate will it take for Hungrybox to beat Zain? And this brings me to my point that I think Hungrybox is actually incapable of only committing himself to melee. He needs another like convenient thing there. Like we saw this with his job, we saw this. Okay, college actually was not that great for him, but we saw it with his job. We saw it with his second job. We saw it with that 2022 stretch where he was winning like those 3 events, like Riptide, Wave Dash, or whatever. And I think he actually needs to play more ultimate to defeat Zain. I think he needs to like feel a certain experience that his opponent is having. Like in this case, it would be Zain because Zain is going through the poisoning. So I think he needs to tap into that kind of shared energy, and that's only going to happen if he plays more ultimate and less melee.
He needs to say we're both poisoned, but I'm still playing better than you.
Yes, exactly.
I see.
So here's the thing, right? Hbox, you got to remember one thing about him. He is the GOAT. That list was wrong. And it doesn't matter how much like Zain gets poisoned or what he's gonna do. He's gonna do the normal GOAT thing that like Mango does as well, where he pretends that, oh, I'm gonna, commit everything and like really, come back to number 1. And then he doesn't do that for a full fucking year. And then when it seems like all hope is lost, H God will return. And when it comes to like the whole Zain thing, like should he stop like the poisoning? No. He needs more. It's Zain who needs the poisoning, not Hbox. Think about it.
True.
He won that game 5 versus Axe, right? Have you ever played Smash Bros. Ultimate?
I try not to.
That game is fucking bullshit. All right. And Pikachu is bullshit.
Pikachu is bullshit.
He would have lost that game 5 if he hadn't been playing Ultimate. I don't care about, he's been beating Axe or whatever. No. That was Axe's tournament. He was cooking so hard. He did not go game 5 because Zane's been playing bad. He went game 5 because Zain doesn't have enough bullshit experience.
I don't get why we think that more ultimate is going to make Zain worse at juggling both. I feel like he's just going to get better at playing both as it takes. Like, of course, this is when he's going to be the worst at it.
Now, for the record, even if the ultimate is hurting Zane's gameplay, I don't think he should stop, right? I think it's a brilliant content move for the bag. Like all of the Hungrybox, like, 17-year-old, 15-year-old viewers have to watch something during the day, right? And there's all being funneled into Zane's channel. Like it's a brilliant move for the brand. And honestly, it's a lot more money than the difference between 5th or 3rd or 2nd or even 1st place at a couple tournaments, right?
Nobody's saying he's not bad maxing.
Yeah.
So here, I'm gonna that gave me a good question to spiral off of. What does Zain need to do to retain Hungrybox's audience from Ultimate in the long run? Is it just stay playing Ultimate? Is he in the prison?
He's got to break the chair. He's got to break the chair.
He's got to break the chair.
He's got to break the chair.
Dare I say 2 chairs?
He needs to break 2 chairs. Okay.
I think he could get a Cuban link, and that would help.
Yeah.
No, well, actually, I'll refrain.
1 second, I got a DM. Okay. He does need to debut a Cuban link next week.
Yeah. And then he can start wearing camp collar shirts. I want to see him stream in just a tank top.
The gold chain.
It's just.
All right, I'll be honest. The Cuban link with the tank top would just be like that's almost like a racist stereotype at that point if Zain just put that on stream.
He's got to be careful. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
we love I don't know. I'm gonna abandon ship here. Let's go on to our next topic. Let's talk about the box. We've been bringing him up for the first time since the Big House 4. He did not make top 8 in Melee singles. He lost to Mango on winner's side and Moki on loser's side, which sounds totally respectable. But so did almost all of the bracket paths that he got 7th and 5th place at in the past decade. Is there any reason why it was tipped off that finally broke the streak? And how long can he continue to place 9th or higher?
Yeah, so I think the really obvious one is that, like, going through the tournament path, he wanted to team with Zip really bad, right? And he talked about how much that'd warm him up to play the tournament. And I think that, along with the ultimate detox, put a lot of pressure onto him. Like, after he lost, he was pretty upset about, I'm doing everything right. Like, why did I lose? And that's like a pretty difficult, like, mental journey, right? Like, I think maybe he didn't have I'm doing the content ultimate grind like John to kind of like protect his mentality through the tournament, right? And so I think, maybe that's something he has to explore, and we'll kind of see how that affects his preparation for the next big tournament he goes to.
Okay. Yeah, so the thing is, Juan didn't make top 8. I think it's literally just one reason. Remember how like doubles took a lot of the mainstream sets? He's playing on a side stream. That's not Juan. That's net play Juan. Like, it put him on the main stage.
There was no camera.
He lost the Mango on the main stage. He lost.
That's fine. That's fine. That's winner's quarters. But he still would have made the top 8 set, though. Is what I'm saying. He would have done the bare minimum.
This makes sense to me. This makes
so
sense.
So long as he had that.
If there's no camera pointing at him, then it's like if a tree falls in a forest and there's nobody there to hear it.
Did he really miss the top 8?
Did he really? Nobody has ever seen Juan miss top 8.
That is nonsense. No.
Give a better theory then. Why tipped off?
He just look. We don't see events like tipped off like this level of being stacked that many times a year.
Yeah.
Like it was gonna happen at some point. Like, he played a really tough opponent. It went to last stock. It's basically like a coin. Like, him and Mango always, like, I don't care what time it is. Those two are always gonna go back and forth. Like, no matter what. Like, no matter how lopsided it feels in one of their direction. And I feel like him and Moki have also been very back and forth. I really feel like it's not that complicated. He just lost 2 coins.
We've had 4 events of this caliber of like density a year on average for like 4 years, or 3 at least.
Like,
we
like
haven't though. We haven't though.
Sure, 2021, 2022, 2023 still had summits, right?
No, but here's the thing. So, what happened here is that the field has leveled up, and then Plup and Wizzy showed up. We have not had an event of this caliber where Hbox has been at the levels he's been at in quite a while. And yeah, maybe we had some in like 2022 and 2021, but you have to run it a few times for it to happen, right? We haven't had a tournament like this where Plup and Wizzy both show up in a super fucking long time. And that's the difference maker, because those 2 slots push him down. So you said it yourself, Jack. It's about the same losses that he's taken to get these 7th and 5th places. It's just because everyone gets pushed down a little bit by these 2 top 10 players actually showing up.
Yeah, Edwin, what are the stats? When was the last time Wizzy and Plup were at an event with Hungrybox? Was it Riptide?
CEO last year, for sure.
Yeah, it was CEO.
It was CEO of last year?
Yeah, no, he was.
But who else was a CEO, Jack? I'm not saying it's just because of Plup and Wizzy, right?
Yeah, it would be like the last time there was
and Mango and Hbox and Jmook and Amsa were all
so the Big House.
Yeah, well, what my stats people are telling me is this is the only tournament basically to have the entire top 10 of the top 10 post-COVID. I think the last one was like Genesis 8 or maybe Genesis 9. So because, Leffen or whatever, but yeah, like this was the first one in a long time.
That's literally all it is. It
really
shifts it down.
Like when we're thinking of that almost 10-year streak or whatever, we're not not every tournament is tipped off 15. Like, there's going to be smaller majors in there that he made tops. Like, it's still an impressive streak. But I'm just saying, like, if you look at it, literally who he lost to and like who he beat, like it's gonna happen. Like,
I think those are both irrelevant factors, to be honest. I don't think Juan himself is even thinking about how stacked the tournament he's at is.
Oh, he's not.
He's simply thinking about 3 things: his Twitch number, his top 8 streak, and can I please God win this next set. Other than that, I don't think there's any other factors.
He does live one set at a time. That is
put it. Have you seen him at a pre-local? Like Hbox always attends major pre-locals, and then like it looks like he's just gonna fucking lose somehow the entire tournament.
Maybe that's it. He didn't go to the fucking pre-local on
Dude,
Friday.
if he did,
I
he
think
would
I've
have
cracked
top
the
eight.
code.
The vibe of
I
this
agree.
answer
Ohan's
is
got
giving
beef.
it is giving me a Hungry Box is the god king of the universe that chooses to win, and then when like the stars are aligned and kind of vibe.
It's all he's seen it all. He drank the blue juice and now he has the memories of his ancestors. He is a Benny Jesuit. He's the Kwisatz Haderach. But he can't always win, you know? All right,
do
let's
me
move
a
on to our
favor.
next.
Expose. Did any top players ask for free entry to the pre-local? Because I heard about that happening at Collision, and I was like, LMAO.
There were a few top players that asked for free entry to the pre-local. You know, yeah, it's a little crazy. Let's just say none of them were top 10 or top 20 players.
course.
Which, you know, I'm not going to name names, but
So you would have given it to top 20 players.
well, you know, by you know,
we're only
metric,
human
right?
here. Yeah.
We're only
All right, let's
human.
move on to our next topic. Doubles top 16. This one is an Ohan roast. Doubles top 16 was scheduled on Sunday, leading to enormous conflicts on the singles side of the bracket as matches had to wait for players to finish in doubles. This resulted in melee singles streaming hours after the expected time and many historic matches, including, as we've said, the Hungry Box top 8 streak breaking by Moki, being relegated to quad stream with no player cams to see how the players were reacting. Ohan, we have been saying doubles is dead for 2 years on this show. Was the cost worth this resurrection ritual you put on?
So I definitely did not kill doubles. Who killed doubles were those fucking Canadian dentists, all right? When Battle of BC had to be rescheduled and I had to move from a 3-day weekend to a 2-day weekend and just fuck the whole schedule up, those Canadian dentists were the nail in the coffin for doubles. That and start GG breaking, all right?
Yeah.
Those two things murdered it. And let's just say there will be no doubles at Tipped Off 16. I'm confirming it here now. It's dead.
God.
It's out back. We took it all back
Ohan
and shot
wins
it.
the show. It's a record for how early someone can win Fourside Fights.
Kill it?
Win?
Steal the
It's
full
out back.
schedule.
Dude, I don't know what I'm gonna do, bro.
You're killing doubles.
I'm fucking losing it.
What's wrong with you?
Moff, convince Ohan to keep it.
There's no convincing this guy, bro. He rigs brackets for Cobalt.
I rig
I can't
brackets.
convince him. like,
At the same time, I will also announce the doubles only major happening next year. All best of 5 round robin pool doubles tournament. So, you know, that at least hopefully compensates.
We're getting exclusives dropped. All right, but how are you gonna? So let's totally pivot. How are you gonna market that event so that it doesn't suck shit?
The doubles only tournament?
Yeah.
You know, maybe a few Swedish people, maybe a few retired, you know, California teammates. You know, who knows who could be showed up to such a thing, right? But if there's one thing I think I'm good at, it's getting people to Atlanta, Georgia, who have no fucking business being there, right?
Which is why Hungry Box didn't make fucking top 8.
Exactly.
That's what Ohan's doing.
No, I don't know how to feel. I'm legitimately distraught after hearing this. Like,
Edwin, do you have any thoughts on this? Over? Did the topic just blow up?
Yeah, I'll be really quick. So when I put my $1,000 bounty on Hbox and Plup that they proceeded to not enter a tournament for the rest of it, I asked Plup actually recently if he would let me free of my contract with him. And you know what he said? He said, yeah, of course. Yeah, go, be free. He was annoyed at me. He said be free to me as if he was releasing me from a contract with the devil. This guy did not care at all that he could have won $1,000 had he and Hbox just teamed together. They were both at the event and they didn't team with each other. So that's my thoughts on doubles.
Zain, do you have any thoughts? I'm going to move on to the next topic.
No, I think we covered it.
Okay, cool. When Edwin Budding's major simulator spat out possible timelines for Tipped Off, the rarest outcome of all was not, of the ones that came true, was not Hungry Box's placement. It wasn't Mango's placement. It wasn't Zane's placement. It wasn't Cody's placement. It was Axe getting 7th place, which only happened in 24 out of 1,000 simulations. Axe beat Crudo, SDJ, Sunsei, and Wizrobe to reach top 8. These are 4 players he had recent losses to. And the Crudo loss was pretty bad, if I remember correctly. Foursiders, what are the numbers missing here? Is Axe hot again? Or is this the level of play that comes with the love and support of your parents being in the venue? How do we get more parents at Smash events supporting their little competitors? Anybody can take it.
I'll open this one. So, like, here's the thing. Axe made top 8 because he won doubles. You have now killed all Axe runs, Ohan. Why do you hate Axe? Like, here's like,
answer the question.
Like,
Look,
dude,
I love X. All right, I love X. I just love the other, collective 600 people a little bit more, and that's okay. That's okay, right?
you
But
should hate the friendlies players more. We should have stripped down the friendly setups, used it as extra double setups, got an extra person TOing doubles, made an extra pool, and then boom, all of a sudden we're Gucci. We ain't got no
Axe
conflicts.
won like 7 doubles majors
He-
in the last year
just a goat.
None-
and missed
no,
top
no, no,
8
no.
at all of them in singles.
Those weren't stacked. Those weren't real
They weren't
tournaments.
stacked. You guys
Okay,
said
true,
it wasn't
true.
stacked.
Yeah.
I will find a way to justify this for Axe. It wasn't even surprising to me. In my heart, that was the real thing that made the top 8 beautiful. Not Mango winning. No. It's Axe's in top 8 and won doubles. Like, that brought tears to my eyes. Like, I saw Axe lose, turn around, still looking happy, and I was like, man, he's back.
He's back. All right, everybody else, is Axe hot, or is this parental love?
I think it's some of both. So I think, for one, like he almost beat Zain to make top 8 on like the winner side, right? Or,
Yeah.
to get really close. And I think that's something he was already performing so well. Him making it through losers is no surprise to me. And I think, yeah, his parents being there's a super power up, but also at tipped off, I guess minor shill, we pride ourselves on making it so that players can just focus on the gameplay as much as possible, right? So we take care of like catering and like all that sort of stuff for people that are like top 16 seeds. So he was exclusively able to just game, win doubles. I gave him that medal, and then he was like, I'm ready to go get another one. And lo and behold, he did.
You hear that? Top 16 seeds get catering. Top 16 seeds get free entry to the pre-local. Fuck everyone below that. That's what you get at tipped off.
No,
You gotta
that
be
was
good
based.
first.
I felt
be good.
really good about not having a VIP pass that tipped off. I was like, good. I do not deserve this.
You're
Like,
still among the people. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, dude.
Listen,
I
I think Axes can be a really emotional player. We've seen him get really sad after losses before, and I can imagine a world in which having a heartbreaker loss to Zain like that, where you get reverse 3-0'd, where you can't clutch it out, would just kind of put him in the pits for the rest of it. I think that Axe uniquely is someone who, having his loved ones there, is a big power up for him. He did not lose to Zain and then like win one set after that. He lost to Zain pretty early and then had to win, I think, 3. All the other sets were like 3 or 4 after that, right? To make top 8. Yeah, right. He beat SDJ, Sunsei, and Wizzy, right? He beat Wizzy to make top 8 all after that. So I think that a lot of the time what you might see with Axe, if he takes a heartbreaker loss like that, you would see it on Twitter in the past few years. You would see him sad about it. You would see him down in the dumps. As for what we can do to get more parents, I think we need to post more videos of our parents to Twitter, because that's what Axe did. That was what made his dad feel so welcome,
There are a lot of parents on Twitter.
He had just posted a video of his dad to Twitter. I don't see Mango posting a video
from
of his
him
mom.
visiting us in Africa, I think.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So Axe's dad knew he was going to have
Yeah.
a king's welcome there. So why isn't Mango posting videos of his mom? What about
like the
Leffen's
spirit, but,
Korean parent and Swedish parent?
One sec. Edwin.
Yeah, I like the spirit of that. Unfortunately, I will say, like, just speaking with my parents, I just feel like they'll get canceled somehow. It's just like it's just a fear in the back of my head. I honestly think that like this topic actually just gives me extreme distress. But I think it's great that for Axe that he's powered up by the presence of his parents and not, you feeling immense.
They know how.
immense
They would
shame
know
or
how to
pressure.
behave in a crowd. Your parents don't wander into public places and get canceled.
I don't
Maybe
know.
not yours.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know.
maybe not yours. I think
No,
I
that's
think
good.
my
parents are
dad would
woke
find a way.
libs.
Yeah, we need to do a whole Survivor family visit-esque show at the next tipped off to get the highest level of gameplay possible. For sure.
Unironically, you know how you get more parents to tournaments is just ask. I bet a ton of the top 100 players, they ask their parents, not all of them, but I think a lot of them, if you ask, they would be like, sure. And then they might say, that was really stupid, you should quit. But
It is something that I'm very fascinated about, and this is just an aside, it's not like a topic, but I'm very fascinated by how people who have no experience watching Melee experience Melee events. Ever since the whole time I've been a TO, anytime there's like somebody who works at the venue or like just wandered past who like gets magnetically caught in the pull, it's my favorite shit. Let's move on to our next topic.
Luminosity Shills.
Moff criticized Wizzy on Twitter for showing up late to their set and then leaning really close to the TV in a way that obscured her ability to see. Luminosity just recently sponsored Wizrobe, and Soonsay, one of their social media managers, jumped on to provide a different angle of the shot, supposedly proving it wasn't a problem. But here on Fourside, like Rashomon, we show all sides of the story most of the time. How should TOs and players handle lateness or melee faux pas, as exhibited here by the tilt of Wizzy's head?
I think I have a legal right to start in this one, but
you can finish for drama.
No. I'm sorry. I got something to say right now.
Okay.
One, to the Wizzy dick riders who are giving me mad hate. Wizzy doesn't even know your name. You are no one to him. Two, oh my God, the fact that there was like contractually obligated dick riding happening in my replies is just insane fact. And three, I didn't even care about Wizzy leaning like that. I'm just like, because I play outside in doubles, right? Which once again, I love doubles. Doubles makes you better at singles, going back to the axe point. But like, I'm looking at Wizzy and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine because I know how to deal with this. A lot of other people sure as fuck wouldn't. Like, this would definitely bother me. And the only reason I doubled down on Twitter was because Luminosity came into my replies and I was like, yeah, I'm never getting signed to these guys. I don't care. And then I just like dropped it. It had to be known. I can't let myself be slandered.
Zain, you seem exasperated.
Yeah, because the fucking Luminosity guy in your replies was not a contractually obligated shill. He's someone getting paid like $15K a year and really excited to have a blue badge next to his name and that a player he likes is on a team he's working for. Like, he's not contractually obligated. Yeah, of course Wizzy doesn't give a shit about him. You know that. You're just choosing to ride this because you're hero of the day on Twitter for once, which is cool. But like, that's
also
fine.
Against Shakespeare, Moff was the hero.
But like I think that guy was just like, people come out for their players, and if you have someone on your team, if you're working with someone and you're a Melee fan, then of course you're going to be there. He was wrong. I'm going to say that. I'm just annoyed that you're coming for this guy for posting one tweet in a real nice way. He was wrong. Wizzy leaned too far forward.
Read more of the thread. He quadruples down. He replies like 3 more times to me.
You quote retweeted yourself to double down. You, come on.
I'm so down. I'm about this shit for real.
We're missing.
Edwin, did you just refer to them as Foursiders?
I did. I did.
Edwin, sure, you can have the floor.
I think that we're missing the real issue here, which is that we need TOs to be able to fine or administer penalties to players for breaking the rules. The players have to agree to it if they're going to the event. You take too long at a game, you take too long to get to a setup, you pay a fine. You still take too long or whatever, you lose a game, and you just have a bunch of different rules like this that the players have to agree to. That most of them are probably going to scroll down to the bottom of whatever tournament that they're going to and just click agree or whatever when they sign up on Start GG. It's real simple. It's just like a tiered system of different misconduct stuff. And if you break it,
can it be a spin the wheel, Edwin? Can we do a spin the wheel?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, exactly like Zain and Mogi. Yeah, you have to let the TOs like tweet for you or whatever. If what you do is just cringe, but not like significantly too bad.
Ohan,
yeah, I think this is a great idea, Edwin. I'm gonna get one of those big, like, you ever seen a public swimming pool sign of like all the rules and like the little like colored pictures? But no, I mean, I think the big thing is players need to actually talk to TOs, right? Because even if it's something like Moss said, she didn't have a problem with him leaning too close. Like, I got multiple DMs about other players of the tournament leaning too close and stuff like that. And I think people need to feel more comfortable like pausing the game, talking to TOs, let us do something about it. Because even if it's like not a problem for you, it may be a problem for someone else, and we'd rather address that like sooner rather than later, right?
And Ohan, if somebody were to bring an audio splitter so that they could listen to the game in their headphones,
that was
how would you
crazy.
feel about that?
I think one thing we're great at in Melee compared to other communities is just the collective shame. We shame people over controllers. We shame them over what characters they play. So I think that problem would probably take care of itself through just the, court of public opinion social contract.
Danger has been
Melee.
shaming me for being cis lately. Like, I no matter where I turn, I'm being shamed by Zain for inting in League of Legends.
I
You
saw
shouldn't
you
no,
worry
it's
about
fine.
being
Twitch
stand
chat
up
earlier.
at
Do not
me.
worry about Zane's opinion. He's
you-
defending corpos. You do not have to worry about his opinion.
That guy was wrong. That guy was wrong. I just think he's like that. That is a poor, underpaid man.
Yeah, I will
Well,
say the only
if we want to get on the
experience.
topic of rules real quick, like Moth
Okay.
is also one of the most egregious rule breakers to ever
dude.
come to any
No,
of my
it's
tournaments.
true. Wait
The
a minute.
vaping that
Wait a
happens in that
minute.
tournament,
Where's the
vaping-
cloud? Where's the
vaping
cloud of
is-
poison gas?
Vaping is the
true.
only thing on the tipped off rule page twice because it's such a big deal for us. It is the only thing on there twice. And
God.
she is the most egregious vapor
You are
ever to be in
actually
that
the
tournament.
wizrobe of spitting gases
Yes.
into people's faces.
Yeah,
you know
calling
what?
the kettle
Luminosity
black
got
for
one.
sure.
Kevin
I
Tenacity,
don't
the
agree
out
I
of
think
Lucio,
Moth
told
is
me
just
before.
upset her org is too broke ass to hire someone to defend her on Twitter. I think is the root of this problem.
You know what? I'm convinced. Not only do I agree with Ohan and Zain, I'm actually going to take it further and say that that guy was right. And that wizrobe was right too.
The first picture was right. The one on the left is the true story. Rashomon. All right, let's.
You know, Kevin
I'll say the
Tenacity
only
out of the
thing-
blue asked me, "Hey, if I like tell you not to vape, are you like still gonna vape?" And then I was like, "Yeah, probably." He goes, "Okay, just like ghost it then, because like staff don't like
the
it."
only time I have had, I've never had any problem with the player. Wizrobe was at like full bloom years ago, and I remember just like communicating to him or whoever he was with, like, if you are 5 minutes late, we're DQing you. That's like, I just, we're glad you're here. We're happy you're here. And making it really clear was like, I guess that worked. I don't know. I think this used to be so much worse. And I think usually just talking to each other is fine. Let's go to our next topic. Ohan, we mentioned it a little bit. You managed to get Plup to go to his first event of the year, I believe, reportedly by grinding Heroes of New Earth with him, or to get to his elo or something. How the hell does that work? And is this strategy of luring Plup out something that other events can steal or replicate?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. You gotta, play Han. You do some mid wars, right? And then you have to hire his favorite Han commentator to come be the like MC and interviewer for the event, right? And if you can cross off all those checkboxes, maybe he'll come to your tournament and get third. But it's still not easy, right? It's still not easy. So I would definitely recommend hitting up Breaky CPK on Twitter and paying him his $500 and flying him out to whatever fucking tournament for some game he doesn't know anything about.
But this is like a wider question. How do you get this density of talent? Like, I think this is something that is really important to Melee, as our events are not as big as they used to be. So getting events where you get the whole top 10 there without a prize pool that is like that big, right? How do you do it? Do you throw money at them? Do you just ask nicely all year?
I think it's about I think a huge thing is because we're a Melee only event, we can really like prove kind of that we are dedicated to providing the best Melee tournament possible, right? Like we're the most streamed tournament ever. I think besides the double hiccup, our scheduling was like really, really good, right? I think we make sure we like cater everything, especially the top echelon of players cares about, right? Like catering or like make sure the VIP room has enough setups and stuff like that. And we're really receptive to like feedback on that, right? Like we already heard a bunch of changes we're going to make for next year. And so I think honestly, if like these bigger TOs kind of talked and like communicated with these top players more, they'd probably have much greater like top player retention.
Try. They're weirdos. Zain, anybody else?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Edwin?
I'm gonna just say that I think it comes down to running an event that people really want to go to, and I don't think there's an easy path. I think you gotta have an event that's really fun for all kinds of attendees. You gotta have an event that the vibe is really good at, and unfortunately, if you're new to TOing, it's just gonna take a long time to get there. You're not gonna be able to do that, like unless you have a ton of money. But most TOs, that's not necessarily the case. I think you got to get camaraderie. You have to get local buy-in. You have to have your regional relationships really good. You got to build like a slow network of people in your region and other ones to come visit your event. And eventually, like this kind of thing takes years. I think we were talking about Battle of BC earlier, and I think that's a great example of a series that took the slow. The slow route. You would see deer at summits all the time, but even before Battle of BC was necessarily a major, and he made those relationships across different scenes and with different like TOs and players to come to his event. He threw really good events with the rest of his team. I don't think there's a quick answer here. I just think
There
Right,
is.
yeah.
It's legally binding contracts is the quick answer. I think that you should make players sign a contract that says they need to attend, and then they will have to be there. And then if Mango he's already under threat of being sued if he doesn't show up 3 months before the event ever starts, then sure, Zain will
Is
show
that what
up
y'all
and
did at
Cody
Summit?
This is coming from, like,
I was
the
only there for a
event?
year. Huh?
So the events send them a like this form.
Yeah, and maybe you get maybe they send you a rider. You say, hey, if you want those fruit snacks or you want some Hennessy in the VIP room, then sure, you can have that. Listen, when we ran HTC Throwdown years and years and years ago, which was a 1-day event that had singles,
We're
and
so
doubles,
old.
I might add.
Oh, that was 9 years ago.
Moth
we-
Ohan, do you know about HTC Throwdown?
No, I actually
do know.
don't.
I mean, I'm a Sammy fan, right? So of course I know about HTC Throwdown.
Exactly, true. Great tournament. Great
I started
tournament. The
playing
shorter a melee
2017.
tournament is, the more fucked up it is, and the more upsets you'll have. That's why 1-day tournaments need to come back, because then you have Sammy just fucking running through the tournament and Silent Wolf. But I know not everyone has a budget like we had there, but I do think that if you can secure players, I think if you can secure players earlier and like try and get them, the top players all talk to each other, and then if you can make them feel bad about canceling on your tournament because you promised something to them, they will likely come, and then the other top players will likely come. Plup is his own beast. I don't have an answer for that one. Ohan is the Plup whisperer.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it's a
Aaron,
huge
let's
snowball
give
effect,
credit to
for
Aaron
sure.
too. Plup likes Riptide.
For sure.
Which goes back to my
Yeah,
make it
I mean,
fun.
I did announce the tournament with, I think, 7 of the top 10 players in the world, right? Like,
Yeah.
if there's anything that's going to get Plup to come out of hiding, it's basically this tournament, or I guess Genesis, right? And, Genesis
Apparently
couldn't
not.
do it. So, yeah, apparently not Genesis, but maybe I have a trick or two up my sleeve. Who knows?
Heroes of New Earth.
Whoa.
Heroes of
Guess
Newark.
who's
Heroes of
gonna
Newark. All
guess
right,
who's
let's
about
move
to
on
bring up
that's the next
doubles
pick.
yet again?
Yeah.
Me. Because you wanna know the real way to get Plup to your tournament? You get Odie to your tournament. And then
That's
they
actually
team in
facts.
doubles,
That's facts.
and boom, and then you're good. That's all. Hell, I'm be honest. If Odie was not at CEO last year, there was no Plup dub. That shit would not have happened.
And they
All right.
were so fucking good. It was a pleasure to watch them play. That was sick.
I am gonna find another way to bring up doubles before this episode ends.
I know you are. I'm glad you are aware of my thinning patience. Let's move on to our next topic. Load Spiller made top 64 at Tipped Off 15 with Bowser, and just won the Boston Melee Weekly at New Game Plus over 25 other players, creating a huge barrier to my plan to ban Bowser. Will we see a top 100 Bowser in the next 2 years?
No, absolutely not. There's
This
like
one's dumb.
there's so many awful matchups. There's players with really good like annual resumes that get considered for the ballot, and they're still like just by results. I'm not talking about like skill or whatever. Just by results, they're still like a cut beneath like usually the 105 or like 104 or whatever that are in serious consideration for the list. Like for Bowser to get it, you would need a Bowser to be that guy in Georgia or whatever would fly out that Bowser, like
Jack
whoever
the Giant,
Bowser
yeah.
to like
Oh.
a ton of events, and just for the potential that like that Bowser player is gonna like not just lose to someone that knows the matchup, but is gonna play like another weird character. Like you ever play Bowser versus DK? It's not a good matchup. Like you play Bowser against like Sheik, like you think a Bowser is gonna beat like Fable or something? No,
Yeah.
like it's not gonna happen.
Anybody
not
else?
in the next 2 years.
I'm a
Who
believer.
did Load Spiller beat at New Game Plus, by the way? I'm looking at the bracket right now. He beat
Well,
Talia and Regex.
Bonfire wasn't there to protect
That
the
guy
people.
has
you know
beaten
who-
I guess
who-
Beckman.
Natalia are, like,
You know
they're,
who
like,
beat
solid.
Regex? Me. No, a Bowser will not be top 100.
Could you have
I
beaten
think
him?
the
Y'all are
only-
haters.
With
I think
Bowser.
the only way they could do it is
Dude.
Gabe Jib in NYC was talking about a Bowser the other day who would just charge F Smash and then lag pedal on ranked, and Gabe was laughing too hard to play the game. So if we have COVID again, and they employ that strategy, then yeah, that's the way.
Hey,
to
I'm
see
looking at that wastewater
Ohan,
numbers.
they don't
We have
know.
COVID
They
in
don't
our
know.
Go
I
tell
was
him,
in the
Ohan.
room. I was in the room. All right. He beat Billy Bo Peep, right? Not even just Billy Bo Peep, but Billy Bo Peep staying at Sammy's house, right? Like getting that like good IRL coaching and like grind sessions in. Like this is just absolutely
For
crazy.
some
like,
reason, I feel like Sammy's presence is a net negative in this. I
yeah,
don't know.
well, that's
Like
that's
going
just
from
that's
playing
just insanity. I don't know.
going from
No,
playing Sammy
true.
to playing a Bowser, I
True.
think it's just like I
You're
think
probably
that's kind of
so
like
mad.
a eye-opening.
You've never been in
experience.
Sammy's presence. It's like battle meditation. Like it's just a spiritual like aura buff. But
That's
I
not
mean,
true. What
that's-
Sammy
no,
would
I
say
mean, I
about
was bad in
Bowser
my
is he would
opinion,
laugh and
didn't
go,
count
"Oh,
the
it's
last-
Bowser. What are you talking about? You don't need to
Yeah,
do
it's
anything."
just the aura, right? It's like when you're in there with like your teacher, like you want to make sure you do your
No,
best, right?
no,
There's no
you know what,
mental
This
Sam-
debuff.
lionizing of Sammy
No,
is bullshit.
with Sammy,
That's
it
not
makes
how-
you want to play Sammy instead of playing in tournament. I
Yeah,
think Billy Bo
that's
Peep
real.
decided he did not want to play Load Spiller's Bowser anymore and would rather play friendlies with Sammy. That's
But
that's my
the thing
guess.
is, Load Spiller got the dub, right? Like how many tournaments do you have to get to and get dubs of even relevant like equal caliber to get on the top 100? It's not that
Only
many,
4.
right? You get like
no,
some young
it's a
some
lot.
some young Link
It's-
player beats Spark twice and they sneak on there at 97th. Like it's not that hard.
That's true. That's real.
I'm all Team Ohan on this one. I'm be
There's
real. Yeah.
literally-
No. Edwin, all right. You do not understand how good Load Spiller is. This guy.
No,
beat
I understand. He's
Beckvin.
from my region.
No, you
he's,
don't
he's very
understand.
good.
You know
don't
how
understand.
good you need to be low like Bowser Ices? That is fucking impossible. And he did it. And he's ran it game 5 with Bonfire. What is that? Like this guy is clearly so
No, he's
different
the
from the
truth.
Bowsers. The question isn't is a Bowser gonna be top like 100? It's
I
gonna
was
be
about to
is
say,
Load
is
Spiller.
Load Spiller.
Yeah.
No,
He's-
sure.
Load Spiller's
he's
not
actually
making
just
top.
Gonna
that
be
good.
will Load
But
Spiller
why?
pick up a
How,
second
how much?
character?
How much money will you
But
put on
why?
this?
But why can't he
Like-
be top 100?
Because
Like,
there's
he's
so
able
many-
he's able to beat Billy Bo Peep. Like people get ranked off of like 1 or 2 bracket runs. Like
Look at the
all
top 100
time in
and
the
tell
top
me
100,
that Load
right?
Spiller can't beat at least 20 of those people.
You gotta do it
even,
though.
I think even taking a set in like multiple tries is excruciating difficult. Like I think it's great that he
He's
beat
already got
Billy
one.
once.
He's
Yeah,
already
but
got
you
one.
need to have like
He's at 1
a
at the
bunch of
6-month
them.
mark.
He has one. At
I
the
mean,
si-
it's
at,
his
like,
one
the
tournament.
6-month mark to beating like Billy Bo
First
Peep's
tournament,
Falco.
yeah, facts.
Like his
All right,
Falco is
all
very
I'm
good,
gonna say
but
is
it's
like
not that.
if he goes to like I don't know, Don't Park on the Grass, and he beats like I don't know, Panko and like Justice or some like 2 players of that caliber, he could totally sneak on there in like
Oh,
the
beating
90s.
No.
like
No, beating-
90
no,
and
he-
100 is not enough to get on.
Yeah, he's gotta beat,
you're,
like-
you're
that gets
smoking
you
that good if you
close.
think
Like
that's
I mean,
how it works.
I think
we
he
went
could
from
totally beat
Spark
someone
to
of that caliber.
Justice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got to beat like Ken or something. That's not happening.
Totally
No.
doable.
In
I'm
fact,
a believer.
yeah.
All right, let's
No,
move on
I
to our
know
next topic.
All right.
Load Goat.
You guys are
Uh,
insane. It's not
let's
happening.
see.
Moff is just saying it because the tag is Load Spiller. That's why. she wants
Four-sider.
it.
We're gonna continue
Fair
this
enough.
load tier
Dude, who do you
discussion.
think I am? Come on. I'm a Load Spiller fan. He's
I
from
will
the
mute
Wobbler.
you. I'll mute both of you. All right. Four-siders. See, I say it, not you, Edwin. It's been a month since Bing brought monkey business to Cody Schwab's doorstep, with Kwang making top 32 at Tipped Off. It's basically a guarantee that he and Junebug will make top 50. Is DK like a high tier? What's the highest spot you could see DK having on a modern Melee tier list? Who would he be above? Who would he be below? Who does he replace?
I don't think he can ever actually hit proper high tier unless like everyone just decides to stay absolutely dog water at the DK matchup. I think like SDJ was the best example of just absolutely exposing DK at Tipped Off. Like just 3-0 Junebug in like 4 minutes and then did the same exact thing to Kwang. They're saying, I'm gonna 3-0 Junebug and then 3-0 Kwang tomorrow. And it just happened. And it's just like, yeah, like you just gotta know the matchup. And everyone decides to be like, no, DK does pretty good against this character. But also every single person who plays this character has played 3 DK sets lifetime.
Yeah, DK's good at killing Fox and Falco.
That's a
and
good two.
especially
That is good
against
too.
Fox and Falco who haven't played them. I
So
think that
half
for
the player
DK to
base.
keep winning, listen, I run into the DKs on ranked all the time, and if I'm running into them, that means the top players are going to start running into them. They need to get off of the fucking Slippy. They need to get into a Cabal, go Hbox mode, refuse to play friendlies if they want to have any chance of keep on making these bracket runs, because the character is so goddamn exploitable. He has like 3 moves. That's it. I don't think he's a high tier. I think that he's a real pointy character. You know how I read an article that said they're telling kids now when they're like trying to coach them into get into Ivy League schools, you got to be a pointy applicant, good at like just 2 things. And I think that's what DK is. He's very.
I've
pointy.
never thought about getting into an Ivy League school once in my life. That's the difference between me and you.
All right, I think DK is absolutely getting into the high tier category. I think the characters that we thought were like the just below like that echelon of like top tiers, like the Samus and Luigi's, maybe like 5-10 years ago, were the characters that got to play a lot of like more melee than you, right? They live forever. Like you just had to get down smashed once and they could take your stock. Like people have figured out how to wall those characters out in neutral, right? Like DK having this essentially Ice Climbers-esque just wobble you punish game is like so huge in the modern meta, right? Because it opens the door for you to upset people that frankly like Samus and Luigi just can't beat, right? Like when Bang or Junebug or whoever grabs like Cody, they're not Cody anymore, right? They're
Well,
just
Samus
Fox
beat.
and
You're
Cloud.
saying
Morse
that
code did
Samus
beat- yeah,
can't
Morse
beat.
code-
He
yeah,
lost
Morse
to
code did
Morse
beat.
code.
Well,
Yeah, Morse code
Cody's
did
an
play.
example, but
honestly
I
saying
do not
this.
I do not think that, for example, Samus is going to beat Mango, right? I totally would buy that a DK could beat Mango by just chain grabbing and like wobbling him off of the grab, right?
All right, let me put an actual thing in front of you. Is DK better than Luigi?
No,
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
No,
how
Is
can
DK
you not
better than
be?
Dude,
Samus?
I feel like that meme. They don't know how good
Samus is
Luigi
pretty
was.
similar. Yeah, I think Samus and DK are interchangeably,
So
but that's
DK
kinda-
is going to have more top 100 reps probably than obviously Yoshi or Pikachu this year.
Mhm.
Probably tied with Samus or above Samus. Is that
You know,
it? Is that the ball
You
game?
know what I think? You know what I think is kind of strange with DK and Samus in this comparison. Now, maybe there's something I'm missing, but this could be important. I feel like Samus is a better like game by the ledge, and maybe I just haven't played like a really cracked DK yet. But I feel like DK off stage and just DK by the ledge kind of sucks, and I feel like that'll be like very like as more people put in time toward the matchup, that'll become clear and like very much apparent. And I feel like that's kind of a low key, like if we're just talking mechanically, like what they're good at and what they're not good at. Like DK is very good at juggling. He like lives a long time right now, but I don't think that's always gonna be the case. I feel like people are gonna exploit his recovery and like closing stocks against him a lot.
DK is one of those characters where you go, oh, I know his recovery is bad. It's so easy to edge guard. And then you play one for the first time
Yeah.
in 3 months and you're like, how the fuck do I do this? He spins so much, I got hit and I died. And if you played him a little bit
He
more,
spin.
then you'd be like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, DK's recovery is fucking bad.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Whereas Samus, I feel like Samus can actually reliably live for a really long time, and it's not always easy to deal with the recovery. But I feel like DK, there's some stuff there.
Okay. Let's move on to our next topic. We're jumping in our local time machines back to the year 2022, except with one
Oh,
difference.
shit.
Wobbling is legal. Assuming all else holds equal, does Slug win a major?
Yeah.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah,
Like,
there's just no way he
if we
doesn't.
legalized wobbling today, we'd all be fucked. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Slug is able to beat Zain without wobbling, right? Like, if anything, all the people that said like Ices are mid tier without wobbling, or that wobbling wasn't that big of a deal, are just so egregiously wrong, right? They were unbelievably carried by the game and like the game mechanics. Like I just can't even fathom that people think that in the modern day with wobbling, Ices wouldn't be top 8ing, winning almost every tournament.
I
Winning
think
almost every tournament?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. They were
What
almost
the
winning every tournament back then. Like they
Yeah,
were like
I
consistently
don't-
making
No,
top eights.
they were
Who
never
can't
winning
Ices
almost every
beat?
tournament.
Who can't Ices beat in the modern day? Ices already beat Peach players without wobbling. They already
Milkman!
like, beat
No,
Pens
no, no,
players
I don't
without
care.
wobbling.
But
You
do we say
give
they're gonna
wobbling
win every
to
tournament because
anyone-
they could beat a character? What?
Give me
But who
wobbling,
can't
and
they
I'm
beat?
getting 3-0'd by Morse with wobbling,
Yeah.
bro. There's no shot. I'm
That's
so
a skill
good.
gap. Skill gap.
That's sick.
Yeah,
You
I
regress
think
the
Colin,
Samuses.
Colin, Milkman,
Dude.
and Colin,
They're
Milkman,
losing
and
without
a few other
wobbling.
ones are gonna-
They're losing without wobbling already. You
They
think
were
that if
losing
they
with
actually
wobbling.
just died?
Yeah, that was the problem.
They had like 2 decades with wobbling and they couldn't fucking do it. Listen, I think that yes, Slug would win a major, and my initial thought was, but he has like a year to do it until everyone remembers how to fucking beat Ices again.
He wins main stage.
Huh? Yeah,
He'd
exactly.
he'd win
He
main
would win mid
stage.
stage. That was my initial thought. But I do
And
think
double down.
I do think that the thing that would change that is that you would get Slug playing more. You would get Ices playing more because Slug is a fickle beast who only shows up when Gene Dalla has a 40 for him to drink at a tournament, right? Like that's when he'll show up. So I think that if you legalize wobbling, maybe ices would show up more because I think that they really we lost a lot of them. We lost a lot of ices players when wobbling got banned.
Just to take the like
Thank
other,
God.
other side for a second, like, do you guys not think that like the threat, like just fundamentally how we play or like how people play against the ices at the top level would change? Like we would see like Hbox really like there are some things in Melee
Like
that
a
are
dream
just
hack?
are just like universal, right? And I feel like without the threat of wobbling being there just completely changes the dynamic of neutral game in a bunch of matchups where people are just like we would like there are still VODs today I see of like Pew Pew ledge camping or like platform camping against Army that like literally like I don't see Marths doing it today, and that like because there's no like need to yet. So I
That's
feel
why
like
I said the year term limit because you have a little bit of time before people shift. You know?
I think if wobbling around, I think weirdly enough, I think people like learn very quickly.
Moff,
That would be my guess.
Would it have
So I'm
been
gonna actually-
easier
I'm gonna
or
say
harder
no.
for Moff? Would it have been easier or harder for you to beat Kobold with wobbling?
Oh, harder, 100%. But not be, that has nothing. It has nothing to do with how Cobalt is gonna play. That has everything to do with me. Because if I had the ability to wobble Cobalt, I'd be so desperate. I'd be like, please, God, run into my grab. I would not
That's
fucking
so
swing the C stick once.
Like I gotta bring up a funny example of this. You know when the first time that Fohebro defeated Commaster was? It was at that Pacific. I think it was the Battle VC. It was at that event. The first time,
yeah,
immediately when Wobbling got banned, he broke like a long losing streak to Commaster. So I think it's one of those things where like we assume that like, oh, if every grab was just like a wobble, then Slug would win. But I don't quite think that's how it would.
It's like in
happen
Westworld when they
practice.
gained consciousness.
You know who else could come back and win a major is fucking Bananas. That guy, because that guy would just smash.
Oh
That's
my
very
God!
good.
No! Don't even bring up Bananas or Nintendo, bro. The most fraudulent players.
I didn't say
in
Nintendo.
Melee history, dude. I had to bring up Nintendo, bro. I just had to.
Nintendo was
Okay.
good before Wobbling. I mean, I know it was a while ago, but like he had his top 8 performance at Big House like when it was banned. Nintendo was not a fraud.
I don't think Moff
wobbler.
was looking at things and reading at
Oh
that
yeah,
point.
fair enough.
Yeah, bro.
fair
Google
enough.
Gaga, like, what do you want from me?
No.
All right, that is our final topic. We're going to move on to our tiebreaker. This is
shit.
our tiebreaker topic. Here's how the show works. You guys have all gotten to a sufficient point where you can throw the game here if you're in the lead, or you could lock it in with a great answer. That's how the tiebreakers work on this show. It's a chance for me to fudge the results as I see fit. Y'all ready? We're gonna ask from the person with the lowest points has to go first, and then the most points will go last. If your consciousness was uploaded into a sentient toaster, you could only communicate through burnt patterns on bread. What philosophical message would you try to convey to humanity, and how? Ohan.
I think I would burn every piece of toast to char, right, as black as possible to let them know that life has no meaning and you should always be disappointed.
Always be disappointed. Epengu.
If I were a toaster, I would burn pictures of the stars and the planets to let them know that even a toaster can dream of life beyond the sphere that we're trapped on right now. I love the brave little toaster, and I would hope that someone else could see my messages in my intricately rendered portraits of other solar systems, and that we could venture away.
Not really matching the tone of the episode, I gotta say. Edwin.
You know what? I would make the infinity sign just because it looks cool.
Oh God. Okay, Moff. We're gonna do a second tiebreaker. I hate this question.
I'm AI. If I'm AI sentient, then like I'm probably like smarter than like most humans. But I would also realize that I'm restricted to a toaster's body, and that these idiot humans aren't gonna get any message I'm gonna try to relay. And then I just get so frustrated. I don't burn any toast. I just burn my innards and like self-destruct.
You'd self-destruct. Okay, here's the second tiebreaker. New video just dropped. I'm hearing from the people in my earbuds that slime was destroyed by a 10-year-old in basketball. Here's the tiebreaker. Would you slump the 10-year-old in basketball? Ohan, you start.
I would get fucking destroyed in basketball, but I think I wouldn't be scared to foul him out. You know, maybe shove him down, use my like 6'2" tall body, right? Because the dub's a dub, right? I think Ziff said it the best one time where he's like, he would make a 10-year-old cry if it meant he could achieve his dreams. So, you know, I respect the hustle and the grind of that mindset.
Okay. Zain.
Yes, but only if wobbling is legal. Because then I can just grab him. I get someone else to come in on him. We double team.
You double team.
Yeah,
I
then
got
I'm
you.
slumping him.
Okay. Edwin.
I take a similar route to Ohan, but I take the compassionate side. I try to like offer him cookies or like or just like anything like things that like a 10-year-old like. Cookies are a thing. That
5.
Like, yeah, if 5, 10 cookies.
They have
Everybody
a
likes
sense of exterior world by 10.
Yeah, but you know, cookies are still nice. So I would find a way to appeal to the child's heart and win them over and convince them that me winning was the optimal way. And also, if they beat me, their parents don't actually love them.
Okay, cool. Moth.
When I was a child, my dad would make me and my brother fight random other kids on the basketball court just to teach us how to fight. So I think I would just down like 5 Xanax and then return to my roots.
Yeah.
All right, the winner is Moth.
Yeah.
That's free as fuck. All right, we're gonna get it ready for Zain, Edwin, and Ohan to take it to Fourside to see exactly how their punditry translates to melee. Stick with us as we transition over. All right,
Oh my god.
you won.
Why is Falco camping? You're on Fourside Fights. Go fight! Ooh, big usage of grab armor from the Pichu here. I'm not sure who's who, but the greedy TO clearly knows how to be greedy.
Anything you want to shill, by the way. This is not just for commentary. You completely own this block of time. You can talk about whatever you like.
That's so beast. If you want to support me in various ways, you could buy merch from my team using my discount code, and that gives me a kickback. Or you can buy controllers from my controller modder with my code and give me a kickback. Or sub to my Twitch, SFL Moth on twitch.tv. I be streaming mad often. Finally back from all my melee travels, so a lot more, streams gonna happen and whatnot. Low key probably gonna drop out of egg dog voting. I'll make a tweet about that. But yeah,
aren't you doing a system where you can lose to a qualifier?
Yeah. Oh my god.
I saw that, and then I also just saw that I have 4 weekends in a row of traveling, 2 of which are spent in Europe right before, because I'm going to the UK for a weekend, and then Festa is after that. So that's a week long. So it's like, I'm gonna be exhausted. I don't know if I want to go to Vancouver after that. Also, to loop back, bro, I gotta talk about this more. I can't believe the Load Spiller disrespect. Like, you think K-Ada is that much better than Load Spiller? Like, genuinely.
Just because you beat Kato once doesn't
Hey,
mean
not your...
that,
No, Edwin, no,
okay.
no. Muted. It is your time to talk, Moth, not Edwin.
Like, I just can't believe it. Like, Load Spiller is such a good player, man. There's definitely players in top 100 I see that I'm like, yeah, no, Load Spiller is probably overall better. Like,
hey,
there's just no way. Like, also, man, the best thing about Tipped Off, I know everyone wanted to talk about my Moki win, but hell no. The best part was beating Dreffin. Beating an old head is the best feeling in the world. First, I beat Bobby in front of his girlfriend. Then I beat a Canadian. Then I beat an old person. It doesn't get better than that.
How did Dreffin react?
No, he was just like, oh, GG's. Like, he was so respectful, bro. It's like every interaction I've had with Dreffin. He talks exactly the same every time.
Yeah.
It's kind of beast. Dude, I think Greedy TO should run away and camp. It's over. You're cooked. It's so
The Pichu
over.
pick won't protect your ego.
It really won't.
You got it.
Everything is on the line. This is Fourside Fights. I'd be wobbling right now.
Yeah. Slime has beaten Cody Schwab on this field.
It's the real fighter. Oh, very nice. Damn, wait, hold up. Is Edwin the Fox?
Yeah.
Edwin's cooking all of a sudden. God damn. No, never mind. Misses the easiest tech on the planet.
Who do you think is going to win?
The UFO's back. UFO's back. Please fight on the UFO. Don't be scared. Go fight up there. Yeah, you got a full hop Falco. Use it.
Oh my god.
Ohan can't get back up.
You can up B. This is really cool move. But yeah, I mean, like, it was real fun being on the show. I really like the format.
You were one of the fastest responders to DMs inviting I've ever had. I'm so glad that you.
I was
you were
on
able to
my
make
phone
it.
while like you sent the DM, so it was kind of like optimal. I saw it.
Yeah.
Immediately looked to like one of my homies. I was like, lol. I just got invited on Fourside Fights, and then I was like, I bet.
Yeah. You understood.
I'm about
You
this
understood
shit.
what the show is
Dude,
about.
I'm about the extra 200 followers I might get from this.
I cannot promise you that. Jesus Christ.
Dude, trust me. It's
We're trying to get 200 followers from
wrong
you.
way. I DI'd
All right.
the completely wrong way.
That is it. That is our fight. I believe
Good
that
stuff.
means the winner was Zain of the fight on Fourside. Epengu is the winner of the fight on Fourside. Moff wins Fourside Fights. We will see you in 2 weeks when we return. Thanks, everybody. Hope you had a good time. Bye.